DNC. All right. Y'all remember this big old book from before? When Colorado Governor Jerry Polis ripped a page out of it? This is Project 2025, the Republican blueprint for a second Trump term. It is boo. It is a real document that you can read for yourself at kamalaharris.com/Project 2025. You ever seen a document that could kill a small animal and democracy at the same time? You know how when you download an app and there are hundreds of pages there that you don't read, it's just the terms and conditions, and you just click agree, right? Well, these are the terms and conditions of a second Trump presidency. You vote for him, you vote for all of this. Let's take a look. All right, we got Matt here with us tonight. Is Matt here? Hey, there he is. Matt, how are you, sir? All right, Matt. Now, Matt, I understand that you work as an AV tech in Nevada. Oh, I don't know if we can hear Matt. Can we hear Matt? So who's gonna fix it? Keep speaking, Matt, till we can hear you. I guess we're gonna move on from Matt. And this is Becky. Becky, can we hear you?
Hi, Kenan. It's great to be here.
Thank you. All right, good. Now, Becky, you're married, correct?
I am. Me and my wife have been together for about 8 years.
Oh, that's amazing. Very, very cute.
Thanks.
Look at her face.
But I have got some bad news for you.
I hate that.
On page 584, Project 2025 calls for the elimination of protections for LGBTQ plus Americans.
He said on page 584, Project 2025 calls for the elimination of protections of LGBTQ plus Americans. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to page 584. And this is from their actual website. The link was on Kamala's page that ends up sending you over to this page. So 584. Okay, so this is page 584. What we're going to do is we're going to copy all of page 584. Okay, so you copy page 584.
Thank you for sharing the content from the paper. It appears to discuss several important points related to discrimination and regulatory policies. Let's break down some key aspects. Rescinding EO 11246. The paper suggests that the President should eliminate the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs, OFCCP, by rescinding Executive Order 11246, EO 11246. Federal contractors would still be bound by statutory non-discrimination law, but would no longer operate under overlapping regulatory regimes. Contractors' remaining obligations under the Rehabilitation Act and the Vietnam-Era Veterans Readjustment Assistance Act, VEVRA, could be enforced by other agencies such as the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, or the Department of Labor, DOL. Sex discrimination and Bostock versus Clayton County. The paper highlights the expansion of sex discrimination definitions based on the Supreme Court's decision in Bostock versus Clayton County. Bostock held that firing someone for being homosexual or transgender violates Title VII's prohibition against sex discrimination. However, the court's ruling specifically addressed hiring and firing, not other Title VII issues like bathrooms, locker rooms, or dress codes. The paper suggests restricting Bostock's application to sexual orientation and transgender status in hiring and firing contexts. Withdrawal of unlawful notices and guidance. The President should direct agencies to withdraw unlawful notices and guidances that broadly apply Bostock's reasoning beyond hiring and firing. This would clarify the scope of sex discrimination protections, rescinding regulations on sexual orientation and gender identity. The paper recommends rescinding regulations that interpret sex discrimination provisions as prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, transgender status, and sex characteristics. Overall, the paper seems to advocate for streamlining regulations, clarifying legal interpretations, and ensuring consistency in enforcing non-discrimination laws. If you have any specific questions related to this content, feel free to ask.
Okay, so Kenan said that it calls for the elimination of protections for LBGT. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say, does this information on page 584 call for the elimination of protections for LGBTQ plus Americans? Question mark.
The information on page 584 does not explicitly call for the elimination of protections for LGBTQ plus Americans. Instead, it discusses regulatory policies, the scope of sex discrimination, and potential changes to existing rules. If you have further questions or need clarification, feel free to ask.
Okay, so that would be false. Let's go back.
So yeah,
That's
right back to
terrible.
the Stone Age. I'm afraid so.
Right back to the Stone Age. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Becky, for being here and making that wonderful point. All right, next up,